Hi, my name is Brian, and I'm going to be talking to you about how are invasive species hurting our native wildlife? What are invasive species and why are they harmful? Well, invasive species are introduced animals that have rapidly grown in population and are now considered pests. The harder they are to control, the larger the effect. Invasive species are considered pests that have been introduced to Australia. Most commonly, feral cats, European red fox, cane toads, European wild rabbits. Feral cats are the same species as domestic cats, however they reproduce in the wild and hunt for their food. Cats have been in Australia since European settlement, so it could be said that they have been in Australia since the 17th century. While they are the same species, domestic and feral cats differ in their lifestyle. The difference between domestic and feral is the way in which they survive. Feral cats live with no human contact and depend on small, often native animals as their food source. Feral cats are a huge problem in today's society, causing significant decline in native wildlife. They have threatened the existence of 100 native species in Australia and have even been the main cause of extinction in some ground-dwelling birds. Not only are they a threat to birds and small mammals, but even human and livestock, many of the feral cats carry diseases that can be transmitted to humans, cows, sheep, and horses. Not surprisingly, foxes are members of the dog family. However, like cats, they are able to retract their claws. With eyes resembling that of a cat, their rounded pupils assist them in hunting and seeing at night. They are also the only type of dog that can climb trees, a great way to escape predators. In 1855, the European red fox was introduced to Australia purely for the purpose of recreational hunting. Over the years, the population grew and they became known as a pest. They are currently not present in the tropical north of Australia and some offshore islands. Foxes are mostly active at night and are having a huge impact on the native wildlife and livestock. They have been seen as a large contributor to the decline in many ground-dwelling bird species and some small mammals such as the bilby. They can also be a pest to farmers as they prey on young lambs, young goats, and poultry. This causes significant economic loss for farmers plagued with foxes. Cane toads are large poisonous amphibians that can be identified as a brown, yellow, grey colour with bony ridges and dry, warty skin. Toads don't actually drink water but absorb it through their skin, which is why they can die if forced to live in extremely flooded or dry areas. Toads were originally introduced from South and Central America to Australia to control pest beetles and sugarcane in 1935 before they had overpopulated. Cane toads made their way from Brisbane across to the Northern Territory and are now slowly moving into WA. As cane toads are very adaptable and strong amphibians, they do not have any specific predators or diseases in Australia to control them. During all stages of its life, cane toads defend themselves through their poisonous skin, which is toxic to animals trying to consume it. However, some birds have learned to avoid the glands in which the poison secretes, but many are not that lucky and die rapidly after consuming the toad. As of now, Australia has not found a widespread control solution for the toads, as it is sometimes hard to distinguish the toads from other native species. Wild rabbits are commonly known to be cute and cuddly animals that run through your yards and meadows. They have distinctive features such as their long ears, fluffy tail, and button nose, which have made them being seen as innocent, cute little creatures for centuries. Wild rabbits first arrived on Australian lands from Europe with the first fleet, but were considered pests until 24 rabbits were released in Victoria 150 years ago. Rabbits spread throughout Victoria and made their way over to New South Wales in 1880. Rabbits continued to spread around Australia and were spotted in South Australia, Queensland and Western Australia in the late 1880s to early 1890s. Introducing rabbits into Australia has led to the destruction of vegetation and even assisted in the extinction of many plant species. Rabbits damaging vegetation, it leads to the erosion of soil with either being washed or blown away and therefore minimizing the amount of soil nutrients required for new plants to develop. Thank you for joining me on my journey. I hope you have a better understanding about invasive species now. I have a long ride home. See you next time.